I think the first thing we have to acknowledge, right? The first thing that we have to acknowledge. Why does it mean so much? To the point where if anybody says anything, it's particularly about like these three games, right? Especially in these communities, right? Why does it mean so much to you when people like when anyone else says A is better than B, B is better than C, or C is better than A? And I feel like it's really just namely these three, because all these other games, if I say what I say, then it doesn't matter. I don't care, right? I don't care if I give this a C. It doesn't matter. Like I'm pretty sure if I'm gonna get cancelled by the community, the chance of that happening is gonna be way lesser than I would out Zenless or Genshin. Because at the end of the day, why has it gone to a point where if I were to say I prefer this over that, people are like literally just scared. People are scared to say their preferences in a gacha game, especially these three, right? And like we don't even pretend it does not happen. It 100% is. It's like there's a unnatural amount of like, well, what is the word? Anomicity, anomicity. Wait, what's the word, chat? Anomicity, anomaly. Anomaly? No, it's not anomaly. Animosity. Yeah. There is a unnaturally high amount of animosity within the communities. And like, it doesn't really even matter if you're like a tourist, if you're not a tourist, if you play this game, if you play this or whatever. But like the moment you say anything about like, even if you are a casual, right? You don't fully experience this game to its full potential, right? You don't play this game, you don't zero cycle Spiral Abyss, you don't zero cycle Tower of Adversity or whatever, you don't zero cycle Hologram. But the moment anything related to these three games, it will always not end with a good discussion. It will always be war, there will be rage baiters, things will get ugly, and it's just not nice. It feels really not nice. Like, if at the end of the day, I play all these three games, I would say, like, for me, right? I play all these games, at this point, almost like an equal amount of time, which is like almost none. At the start, I play all these three games extremely well. Okay, not extremely well, like, I played them a lot. Like, when Zenless Zone Zero came out, I was like all in Zenless Zone Zero. When Wuthering Waves came out, I was all in Wuthering Waves. And when Genshin came out, I still remember, bro, this was the game that after I quit my job, we had our first ever Sabaton. It was like all through 1.0, we slammed Genshin back for the story. So all three games, I played a lot at the start. So I gave it my fair share of like experience and everything. But as time moved on, I just prefer playing other types of games. Like, my first impressions and the first time you playing, it will always be the most for any gacha. It's just like any other like AAA title, right? Like, you first play Sekiro or you first play Batman Wukong, whatever it's gonna be, and then if you say, okay, if I like Batman Wukong more than Sekiro, it is what it is. Nobody's gonna like fucking say, oh my god, you're the worst human being on judge because you like Blame. Okay, I do actually like Blame more than Sekiro, but this is the point, right? So like all these games, I legit at this point I kind of just treat them like a game title where once you finish up like the initial like 50-60 hours, everything else just is at the same, right? And I don't derive the similar number of things that I want to look at. Like, for example, you kind of tell like from my choices, I tend to lean more towards things that are not like real time, right? It's more like you're building your teams, you're building your your legacies, these kind of like selecting your moves, right, turn by turn. Okay, Dragaya Lost was a kind of like an exception, but even like for counter side, it was a little bit like a turn by turn because like you have to time which unit you deploy against what enemies. So I like playing like, it's almost a little bit like Pokemon. If you want to, okay, it's not really Pokemon, but like you basically try to outthink your opponent in counter side from a turn-by-turn basis because they deploy unit, you deploy unit, right? So I like these kind of games. So there's really, you know you can believe because I have nothing personal against any of these three.
You have cooled your last cool, my man.